Howdy, everybody. This is Bradshaw for the 518 Colts here on the Ultimate Sports Network. We are talking football, and we are talking the best type of football right now. We have playoff football. Unfortunately for me, the Colts decided to go home early this year and not make the playoffs, where with my guest, my buddy McNeil, the Niners are still in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big one. I wasn't sure Niners started 2-5 this year. Um, it was looking bad, but they're here again in the divisional round once again,
Yep,
playing the
they
Packers once again.
yeah, they have one hell of a mountain to climb. The interesting stat that I read earlier is Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs against the Niners is 0-3.
Yeah. Was it 2 years ago? Mostert had like 200 yards rushing. I guess you,
Yep,
you probably remember that one. And then of
I
course
think so. Yeah,
Kaepernick in
Kaepernick.
14 maybe,
Yeah,
where he
Kaepernick ran all over them. They had no way to stop him whatsoever because at that point in time, I mean, really, they didn't have as mobile of a quarterback as what Kaepernick was at that time. Everybody else was still kind of a pocket passer.
yeah he would get in space. I think he set the single game rushing
I
record.
think
I think for a quarterback in that game. So.
I think he
J-
did. Yeah, that
That will not
was
be broken this week by Jimmy Garoppolo.
no. Garoppolo is he even playing? I know he's got what, two broken fingers or something.
So he has a torn ligament, his thumb, his throwing.
Jeez.
So he had that week 16, 17, and he also has a sprained shoulder and his
Yes.
throwing
Yeah.
shoulder.
Well, it's a good thing they love to run the ball with Mitchell and Debo Samuel. So that's going to help them a lot because Green Bay is not really known for stopping the run. Great. They're better at passing, where obviously the Niners like to run, which is definitely one of their strong points right now.
Yeah, and they're going to have to in this game. Obviously, we just mentioned Garoppolo, especially it's supposed to be 2 degrees. I think I was saying it was single digits in Green Bay Saturday night. So um, yeah, they're going to just have to run the ball and control the clock, keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, keep him cold.
Yeah, exactly. Keep him cold, no pun intended, because they're going to the frozen tundra.
Hmm.
But we're actually going to back up a little bit. We're going to start at, I believe the game starts at 4:15. It is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans, the number one seed versus the number four seed. No, three. Fuck, what were they? I don't even know. Either way,
I think
Tennessee's
they're four. Yeah,
okay. 14. Either way, Tennessee is the number one seed, and from what I understand, Derrick Henry is going to be playing for the first time since he got hurt in October. And the funniest thing about that still is he finished in the top 10 for rushing yards. It
yep.
just means it was a piss poor year for running backs this year. If Derrick Henry was, I think, number nine, actually, uh, in the top 10, and he didn't
Yeah, and
play.
rushing yards.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to me. Just
Yeah,
shit running backs this year.
yeah. Just
Just
look at the first 2 rounds of your fantasy draft of all those
yeah.
running backs and how
Yep.
many finished, the middle of the pack.
Well, I was lucky. I got Jonathan Taylor in ours, so I was set. And then I traded them to get in my other league, so I was set there. But yeah, I mean, even then in my other league, I had Joe Mixon, who's actually I think numbers two or
Yeah,
three on the list. So yeah, he was not bad. But Jonathan Taylor beat everybody by at least 500 yards, which it was nice to see him win the rushing title. I would love to see him win MVP, but because this is a passing league, it's going to end up going to Rodgers or fuck Tom Brady. I really hope it doesn't go to Brady. He doesn't need it. Rodgers doesn't need it either. But that's just my own, obviously, opinion. But that's okay. So to me, in this game with Cincinnati going to Tennessee, with the return of quote unquote King Henry, he's not really the king this year. He's kind of more like the peasant Henry. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how much they rely on Henry in the rushing game because in the past few weeks they've actually relied on Tannehill more in the passing game, especially with AJ Brown just destroying everybody. Where Julio Jones is still just doing what Julio Jones does, especially towards the end of the season
Boo.
when he's hurt. Yeah, the hamstring injury, everything else. But apparently in the playoffs, Julio Jones likes to show up because he's averaging about 107 yards per game in the playoffs. Will Cincinnati's defense allow that?